to forgive this all the time.
Can you forgive
I feel like the answer to that is no.
So do you have to forget
I understand first. Can you put me in the situation?
So for example, they did something to you that you don't like. Could be a very offense, right? But something that really hit you and felt like betrayal, right? There's myriad things you could say. Like that profile. You've forgiven the person, right? But do you also think that it's important to try to forget what it is?
Absolutely.
Or do you keep it in mind? Keep it in mind. If you do keep it in mind, what do you think that does?
Keep it in mind. You have to keep it in mind.
Okay.
And you have to acknowledge that. You have to not constantly, you have to acknowledge it, and you have to acknowledge it's a part of your history with the person. And that's they also have to acknowledge it and improve from it. And use it as a point of growth.
Very wise answer.
You won't be forgetting that. You're forgetting anything.
Yeah. Perfect answer. Next question. All right. I have another question for you. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
Because I feel like questions should be more targeted towards men because I feel like this is a societal issue. What do you think about financials? Should they be split 50-50? Think on everything?
Why do you think that question is more targeted towards?
I think it's more targeted towards men because, historically speaking, there's been the expectation that men are supposed to pay for this, pay for that, I'm not saying that's what it should be. I'm just saying that's the historical expectation.
Isn't it interesting to also hear about, if the role is increasingly,
of course.
You know what? I'm actually I was definitely gonna ask you this part too, but I wanted to ask Ben first.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I later made it clear. This is actually a dual question. All right. So you're gonna answer this too because I want to see what your expectations of it are. Right. But given the pressure of society today, or given the pressure of society historically speaking, you still feel that today you should be funding most of the things. You're saying you feel like at my stage right now. I guess in your stage right now, when you get into a relationship, and then also when you're in your marriage. Maybe you can, if you feel like there's a disparity, I'd address that.
I think upon marriage, it should be all one like that. Mm-hmm. And it's used between both.
What you brought out from before.
What both people have. I think in terms of dating right now, I think it should basically be 50-50. You're splitting all the funds of things until that happens. And then it's just a free-for-all.
So that means always 50-50?
I guess.
Are you talking about in marriage or in dating?
Well, then both.
So yeah, I just separated.
There may be a
it's 50-50 for both, but in a way it's a free-for-all once you get to the marriage.
So you have to communicate about it. So you take a girl, when you take a girl on a date, are you paying for their dinner and stuff?
Generally, yeah.
Okay.
Even though that's not what I think it should be, that's what's happening.
That's
inside of the societal expectation
because of society, right? Or even the individual's expectations, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So I'd love to hear from the girl's perspective.
It's also
really good about that.
It's kind of demeaning to the woman, I think, to be paying for it.
Commoditizing.
I don't know that.
The price of
I'm gonna
having dinner or
and then you you're gonna sit pretty on this date.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about it like that.
Consistently, then I don't think about it that way either. But I was curious if that's how.
Right. I think about it. It's the woman going along with the concept. I'm the predator, prey. You're the predator.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is then commoditized.
Okay, yeah. He's making me. I'm
I'm being bought.
Basically. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I think when it comes to dating, I think it's very chivalrous for the man to pay for the first one, the first date, the first drinks, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If in a heterosexual relationship,
mm-hmm.
And then I think from that on, if you're in similar financial situations, I think it's really nice to split equally. I think if you're in different financial situations, it kind of comes down to how serious the relationship is and how much people are willing to spend. Mm-hmm. But I think a huge non-negotiable for me in particular, but I think generally for most people is the ability to live within your means. You should just not be spending more money than you're earning. Mm-hmm. And so if one person's earning drastically more and the other person's earning a lot less, I think I would expect them to be respectful of the person who's earning more money and doing things that fit more within that realm. And then I think if you're coming into marriage in like very different financial from very different financial environments, or with having had very different financial goals, I think that's where like a prenup would come in, and you kind of like protect what you had earned prior to that marriage, if that's something that you feel strongly about. And then I think, within the marriage, typically, I think it's like really nice. I would feel comfortable in my marriage to still contribute to my own fund, and then to have like a fund for my children specifically, that would be shared, but then like the other stuff wouldn't be. And then I think like ultimately, the man and the woman should be contributing equally, not necessarily financially, but of marriage. So if it's a marriage, then like that contribution doesn't have to be financial contribution. It can be domestic contribution. It can be like caregiving. It can be like a myriad of other responsibilities that you're taking on. But I think that contribution should be as equal as it's possible to be in any given moment, or like in any given period of time.
Well, devil's advocate to that is, let's say both people are. I like how you made the segment, or the segmentation out. You know, it can be viewed from a socioeconomic lens, like what can somebody afford versus what can the other person afford. And you should be able to pick up the slack because you love that person. But what if both people are?
I don't think you should pick up the slack because you.
No, I'm saying the person who has more money, right, out of love, should pay more for stuff because the other person doesn't have enough, right? Like, is that what you're saying, or you're not saying that?
I didn't necessarily say that. I said if someone is earning less, I think the other person should not, like, I think that in order for them to not be living outside of their means, yes, if they're comfortable, if they would like to, they can fund more, but I think it's also nice to then just do things that cost less.
Oh, I see.
Together.
Okay, got it.
That's more.
And so the other thing I was going to say is, what if they're both financially equal in terms of how much money they have or they're earning, but you're saying one person can just like, they should just contribute, equally to the marriage, versus like they don't have a contribution. They shouldn't feel like they need to contribute equally financially. Like, what if both people make the same amount of money, one person's more domestically focused, other person is just like, nah, and maybe does something else, right? But the financial burden ends up being more on that person, despite that person more domestic.
I don't want to discredit like how much effort it takes to take care of children. Either like that's a job in and of itself. And so I think whichever spouse decides to do that is also contributing equally.
Of course. Yeah, so I mean, when I was saying that, I wasn't meaning to demean like domestic work at all. I'm saying more so just like, that's a different pile. I don't know if like they're all should be on the same playing field, like financial equality, domestic equality.
Yeah,
I don't like they should be meshed together
as a whole. Whatever the needs of your marriage are, financial needs, like I don't know how to describe like domestic needs, like all these different needs, like taking care of extended family, things like that. Whatever the needs of your marriage are, I think like should be split as a partnership, like as equally as possible.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay.
I also wanted to go back to for a sec about the dating, first couple dates, who's paying. It's also the fact it's a symbol for the man to be paying, that it's a date. So if the man at the end is like, oh, can we split it? You can't really say that because of silent expectation, and also because then the woman will think, oh, I guess this wasn't like a good date, like we're just friends. So it's not only the societal expectation, but it's also the symbolism. Which is why the woman has to say, oh, it's okay if we split.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the guy has to.
Initiation is key.
For me, because it's like a first date and I imagine myself going on a second one, I'll let them pay because I'll get the next one. If I go on a date,
that's
good.
Good.
Don't imagine it'll be a second one, I split it.
Interesting. That's good, very good. She's smart too.
Wow. This is what I love, I look how we're just bouncing off ideas on each other. Everybody's different. We all got our different modes. Life. That's what this show's about, guys.
Really good life.
All right, that's my next question. Zara, what do you think about dating at work? If you date at work, what do you think about people who date at work? You like those people who date at work? No.
Hypothetically, I think dating at work is like, it's a great way to meet people. I think work and the projects that you work on together can educate how we work with someone. I think that's a partnership in and of itself. So I think like that is a good environment to
They could
scope somebody out.
closer to.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think it's also like just you have to be smart about it. I mean, there's just more politics when it comes to that. So I think you have to, you should protect yourself in whatever way.
No, it makes sense. Oh, look at that.
Disclose the relationship if it's necessary.
Make sure you follow your corporate guide. Thank you very much. Okay, this is a question for both of you guys. And then we'll wrap it up here. Would you guys take somebody back after they cheated?
No.
That's a very complex question, and I'm like 99% want to say no, but I understand the 1% that's saying yes. So I'm not.
I think you're listening.
I'm going to say 99% no.
I would love to say 100% no, but I think I'm like him. Like when I love somebody, I'm willing to hear them out.
Yeah, exactly the same. But then you can't say 100%.
So I can't.
You can say 99.9. Yeah.
I think more than that, I wouldn't want the relationship to continue. I think I just could not be with someone that I didn't feel trust for, and who I didn't feel like was as committed to me as I would. Yeah. That would be so difficult.
Especially if you know.
And I think like that's tainted. What exactly? And once that's tainted, I think it's really hard to regain.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's building back the trust and like that feeling of like that gut wrenching feeling of like being out. Like you're just going thinking about it. Yeah. Like that's what makes it. That's what makes it tough.
I would need to work on it so much to like not bring that up every time.
Yeah, that's like, is it even worth it?
Not. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
end on a happier note.
I think it's end on a happier note.
Well, we might have some.
JK, I have one last question. I was going to ask you guys. Loyalty to family versus loyalty to your spouse. You guys can both answer. Well, yeah.
It is like, firstly, imperative that my spouse gets along with my family.
Interesting. That kind of sounds like loyalty to your family.
I could not be with someone that did not get along with my family, and I think loyalty to my family.
Wow. That's the first time I've probably ever heard that.
But I mean, it just also, like, I can't really, in what situation would I have to choose? So actually, I take that back.
Why should ultimately?
It comes down to, and yeah, I should never have to be in that situation. And if I am, I would know who I thought was wrong, and it would just depend on who I agree with. Yeah. But I would not abandon either side. I would never. I would try to talk to whichever side I didn't agree with, or I wasn't being fair to one or the other.
Very fair.
So
it's about attention to content,
and ultimately, my spouse becomes my family. So
interesting. What about you? What do you think? You know, like you're in a pickle.
I am in a pickle. I'm in a pickle because I value what my parents and family think so much.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would allow myself to be with someone if they like didn't approve or they thought something was off. Like I trust that so much. That being said, I still trust myself more. So I'm gonna say spouse.
Wow.
No, but what if you knew your spouse? Like, depends on the situation.
What?
What are you talking?
So I don't know what I felt. So I think I was.
We are just talking about like if your family doesn't like your spouse, but you love them.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or are we thinking the argument that happened, and we need to figure out whose side to take?
It can be a various.
If it's just an argument, the side would be clear for me. It depends on the argument. I would just have to decide who I agree with. And then,
some people are like, no matter what, like, I'm gonna be with.
And then I would try to mediate the situation. Right. And then I think it depends on how much. What?
Well, I was just saying, some people are just like, no matter what, it's a deal breaker for them. Like, yeah,
we're just in our own worlds now. Listening.
I know, right? Oh, very fun talk. Yeah. So like, wait, and then what? No, what were you saying? Sorry, I wasn't saying anything before.
No, I think you were.
The question was just, what I'm imagining is you are in love with someone, you want to marry them, your parents think that your mind is in another planet. Who do you trust?
That's also a really big question. Wow. So if you really love somebody, your parents are going to
I trust my family and I trust my best friends.
Wow.
And I think they know me so well. And also, I tend to have rose-colored glasses, so I would not be surprised if I looking back, a lot of people have been with the psychotic.
Yeah.
I thought they were angelic, so I think it's like I would have to trust them.
That's great self-awareness. It's just self-awareness. I think to Ben, like more point of view, maybe rather you trust yourself maybe more than you think that your parents probably could tell, if a girl's good for you or not.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Versus Zara, because I like to lean more on her friend.
I'm a different person than my parents are. I mean, I'm thinking about my parents most, and I have like a lot of fundamentals, foundation from them. But I think it's okay for me to deviate from their values to a certain degree. Maybe they're not happy with that, but maybe I'm going my own path. Hopefully there would be overlap in like what we recognize as respectable. Hopefully that happens. I don't imagine that's not going to happen.
I would be surprised too.
I think it's a great one to end off with. Yeah. Ben, you want to throw some bars? Wow. Yeah. Or do you want to?
Let's do it.
Oh, this is your sweet. This is you. It is you. If you pick up one. Yeah. Yeah. Hope I got no breakup coming soon. That shit go bug me in the go. Oh. That is gonna bug me in the soul. Yeah. Hope that I have swiped with a woman. No, I'm gonna make some baby soon. No. Hope you go stay in my room. 1 night, 2 night, 3 night, 1 night, 5 night, 6 nights. Hope that you can stay all night. Oh no. Hope you nice, no fright. Ready, sister of the light. Of the lights. Get you real hot like a kite. Like a what? No weed, no cheese, just hot all life. Yeah. Get you some fresh shoe. Yeah. Hope that you don't test me. Test me. Hope that you hope for now it comes. You got me in the best mode. No breakup, no love. I love you like a dove. I'll feel you above. I'll keep you on God. Frame. I'll be saying. Back in middle school, I was slaying. Now I'm gonna be making. Hope you gon' be my fiance, and hope that I'm still creating, baby. Yeah. I wanna love you. I wanna suck you. I'm in the mood. He's in the mood. Hope you know where I came from, thinking knowledges. Hope that you gon' hop on me like a sponsorship. What? Zara says she want a nice partnership. Oh, okay. I said that. I'm all about the shit. Yeah, no. I'm not trying to swear. I'm about to love. Friendship. And I hope that you don't miss this. If I like you, I hope that I can kiss this. What? If you like you, I hope that we don't talk about your business. I said I'm dealing generous. She said that I'm like this dealer. I hope we don't go the wrong way. I hope that you long stay. Oh, that we can't go together to the parade. Yeah, a lot more I endorse. Yeah, I hope that you and me can do the chores. Oh, laundry, please don't haunt me. I said that I ring that alarming. Yeah, staying you up on my life. Hope that we gonna stay alright. No divorce. Just perform. Wow, that was sick. Yo, that was sick. That was actually that was way better than the first time too. You hit that. That's your type beat. That's my your type. Yo, this is Ben Mappa. Yo, we got the Spotify. And it's gonna be the link below. He's got a new album out, right? Human. Yo, listen to that on Spotify.
Show coming up in August, New York City. Be there.
Okay, we'll get to link to that too. Boop. All right. This has been an amazing episode. Thank you guys for coming on for the 5th time.
They are having us.
Yeah, cool. Love Dollar. All right. We'll catch you guys next week with another episode of Relationship Status. Thanks for watching, guys.